I don't think this could be overstated. I keep thinking about what we're seeing, and it hasn't even been 30 days. And I just now I'm going to make an appeal to our folks again. Please like, please share, please subscribe, but really talk to other folks in the community that look like you, right? And tell them what's happening. Explain to them what's happening. If you don't understand what's happening, then try to tune in, tap in, reach out to us, because this is a real, not just, and I, by the way, so some are going to interpret, what I'm about to say is like, then the other political party wasn't a threat. MAGA is an existential threat to our people, to Latin Americans, to Chicanos, to Latinos. And that's not to say that the Democrats weren't. It's just, I view this MAGA as explicit. Like they just want to accelerate things. Like they're just willing to they're just telling you the truth. If you go back and listen to Malcolm X, here's the difference. The Democrats pretend that they're your friend, right? They're the liberal, they're the sly fox. They want to pretend they're your friend. Over there, if you watch the DNC, it's like the inclusion party. Like you too can be a capitalist. You too can be an imperialist. You too can partake in being, and being this bloodthirsty, demon, and we can take over the world together, right? And then you look at the RNC, and it's just a bunch of pasty old white folks, right? Like so. But with the MAGA folks, at least they're telling you straight up. Like if you're paying attention, like they're telling you straight up, like, yeah, we don't give a fuck about you and your people, like at all. Like this is a nativist movement. We're gonna take care of the white workers. Monroe Doctrine. We're gonna go after Latin America by whether it's by force or through tariffs or through economic terrorism, whatever. And it's like they're telling you straight up. And then what's interesting is that a lot of our people, and I know you folks in your circles, I'm pretty sure you've seen it. I know I've talked about it, off air with you folks. I have folks who I grew up with who are buying into this stuff. And my question to them is, how much is your soul worth? Because they're protecting their material interests. They've now bought into the American dream. They don't even identify anymore with their own people. They're willing to sell themselves out and sell their people out to preserve their status here in this Ponzi scheme, right? In this fucking Ponzi scheme that is this American empire. So I just caution folks. I just tell, please, like, we need to start having these discussions. I see these images that are constantly being projected about our people, and it's driving me personally crazy because, again, I think about the little kids, I think about the elderly, I think about the people in our community, and it's like we're all, according to white America, we're all criminals, we're all thugs, we're all rapists, we're all murderers. We're either lazy or we work too much because we're stealing your job. So that one's confusing to me because, like, which one is it? So, and it's they're playing the stuff over, and not to say that it was never like this. I don't know if I've ever felt it like this. And I'm going to work. I'm hearing white workers talk about it right in front of my face. Like, and they're celebrating. They're like literally celebrating. You go to the Wawa, you go to the 7-Eleven. You go to the grocery store, and they're talking about this openly, celebrating it. Trump is doing it. He's getting rid of all of them, us, right? And it's like I say to myself, like, where are our people? Where are we at? And I get it. I understand part of our shortcomings. We've talked about this off air about what is a Latino? What is a Latin American? We've been around for about 500 years. So there's a lot of, to use a street term, there's a lot of knowledge of self that we need to do. There's a lot of educating there's a lot that we need to do in terms of educating our people on who we are. And I will take a page out of the Malcolm X playbook and say, we need to teach pride. We need to teach people that, brown is beautiful. Our people are beautiful. Latinos are beautiful. Latin Americans are beautiful. We're good people. We're great people. We're hardworking people, industrious people. We have people that, do wonderful things in different capacities. And we're not what they're trying to say that we are. We're not that. And it's not only that. We need to organize, and we need to talk to one another, and we need to build community. And we need to, Sister Karina, you talked about how the global South and Latin America, they need to build relationships. But we need to build relationships. Again, Malcolm X talked about this too. No one's talking about a physical migration back to Latin America, at least not yet, but at least a spiritual migration. Right? Like, we need to figure out, who are we? Right? Like, if you don't know, if you're Dominican, I'm Dominican, right? So like I'm specifically talking about to my Dominican people. For Dominican Day Parade, when we go out there and we celebrate and we dance and we got the flag, and what does that mean? Do you know your own history? Do you know that we were colonized? Do you know that we were invaded twice by the United States in the 20th century? Do you know that we had our own revolution before the United States stepped in? Like, do you know about these things? And again, no one has a monopoly on information, but it's like we have to start teaching our people. We have to start learning to love one another, protecting our people, protecting one another. And they're coming after us. And if this is not some type of hyperbolic statement, like this is real. Like this is real. They're telling you that they're going after us. And so I'll stop my little diatribe there, but I just think these are dangerous times, and we really need to start thinking about this and these topics.
And we also have a red card campaign going on right now. Do you want to mention that, Victor?
Yeah, absolutely. So how many cards did we order?
2,500.
2,500. Okay. So again, it's what we can do at the moment. So there we have these Know Your Rights cards for our undocumented community. And so if you need these cards, reach out to us. We will send them out to you. Let us know how many you need, and we will send them out to you. As I mentioned before, our communities are they're under siege, they're under attack. And I've had plenty of conversations with folks about this issue. And what's interesting is they're not going to certain, as far as we're Nick, you and I are on the ground. Karina, you're on the ground. Like we get text messages all the time. And as soon as those deportations started happening, Nick and I are from Jersey. Karina, you're from West Coast. We were hearing, oh, they're in my community, they're in this community, but I don't hear they're in any Western European communities. You know, I haven't heard that. And we know that we have undocumented. And I'm not saying that and by the way, I'm not saying that I want them to go after them. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, it's interesting, right, that they go specifically into our communities and not other communities. So that being said, we do have these Know Your Rights cards for folks that need them. And if you need them, just please reach out to us.